Hello, Aegis of the Grail, and welcome to your deck review. For those of you joining us for the first time on YouTube, this is a series where I, Maldhound, normally a short-form commander hater and/or jester and/or not funny dickhead, depending on your taste in comedy, will calmly and lovingly take a look at your commander deck and its weird little PP. Your PP being your premise and your practicum. And we have kind of a special one today. We have one that was meant to be submitted for a deck building competition I streamed, where the goal was make the stompiest deck you can without ramping. What we have here is a Bruce Banner polymorph deck. It not only can't ramp, they said it can't even make green mana. I normally am not a fan of when decks really hold themselves back. I love this. This is so fucking funny. Going, oh yeah, Bruce Banner, the Hulk? Who? This is just a guy. Blam! And then you hit him with a fucking Rick and Morty device. That's really, really funny. And I do want to hold it up as like the reason I like this so much and the reason I normally come down so hard against decks that handcuff themselves in similar ways is here we have handcuffed ourselves in the deck building process. Once we are at the table, we are playing the deck to probably the best of our ability. We just can't make green mana. It's just not in the deck. And I love shit like that. I love when we're doing wild, off the wall, stupid bullshit because we don't have the stuff in the 99 to make it work any other way. So the problems we're having are allegedly we can just whiff we're trying to get a polymorph effect to happen by turn 4, and sometimes we just don't, the bomb just doesn't do enough. We can't take over the game. I think that makes sense. So these are our Hulks. Yeah, that really makes a lot of sense. I think we're going to have to bring the card quality on this way, 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 way up. It's going to have to be. Here's the weird thing about bracket 2. If your deck is only about dropping one individual bomb, if it doesn't immediately win the game, it has to be like way better than you think. It has to be way better than you think to matter. More people have removal than you think. More people have board wipes than you think. Um, like a Tali Primal Conqueror is probably the only thing. Yeah, Emrakul doesn't even have protection from sorceries too. Atali Primal Conqueror is probably the only thing that's acceptable to hit, and that's because it's going to get you other spells too, and maybe you get another expensive spell from your own deck. So, okay, we're making a lot of tokens. Where are our... We only have 11 polymorphs. If this is the... if this is the extent of our polymorphs, my number one recommendation would be to cut more of these fodder things, and just rely on Bruce Banner, right? He's 1 mana to cast the first time. He's 3 mana to cast the second. That's really not too restrictive. And I would be doing more things to tutor up these polymorph effects. I might be playing something super crazy, like a Narset's Reversal. I might be playing a creature like Archaeomancer. I mean, I probably wouldn't be playing Archaeomancer. Hold on. There's an avatar card that does this. I'll be doing like chakra meditation to get one of these back. Like we really, really, really need to be able to use these again. And it's good to have fodder. I don't think fodder needs to be your number one priority. Because we have this thing in the command zone. And like so much of this dig is really, really low quality. Like I wouldn't be playing Consider under any circumstances. I would be doing every single time I play this deck, Bruce Banner is being played turn 1, and then turn 2, I am playing Impulse or something like Impulse. And that's the floor for me because it's so unlikely. Number 1, it's so unlikely that a polymorph effect is going to be on top. Number 2, God forbid we draw one of these. We are so fucked if we ever draw one of these. So I know I'm not in the exact same energy. I don't have the coat for the Stompy deck competition. I think this would be I love the idea. The execution is maybe at like 6 out of 10 for me. I think you've got the right line, but I think we've taken too many things that don't quite do enough. Now, the targets being really bad, for the Stabby competition, it's still kind of okay. Like, this could be Earthquake Dragon, right? This could just be I found the thing with the biggest power and toughness in the entire game and slam that down. Um, so in the Hulk section, the ones I'm going to call out as definitely not good enough. I kind of get Ovika. I don't like Ovika. I don't enjoy them, but I do understand them. I think Surak and Goreclaw, Triplicate Titan, and Ireni. Or well, Ireni's so big. Surak and Goreclaw and Triplicate Titan are the weakest by far. I think Krang and I think Krang is maybe the next weakest after that. And I can like almost rock with the rest of them. Bahamut's kind of tough. I really want to love Bahamut. I do think Bahamut is weaker than I was making him seem here, mainly because he blows himself up, and the Mega Flare probably not going to do very much because we have to polymorph a second thing, hit another creature that's really big, and even then we're only going to blast everybody for like 5, and then the big creature we spent like all of our deck getting is just going to be gone. So I'm actually going to move Bahamut to the low tier for this as well because we just can't keep him. Um, and then for all of these, I I really, really don't like draw for this deck. I really like impulse more. I know it's not the biggest risk in the world, but if you ever draw these, you have 29, we have 35 lands total. We have 29 lands in the land section. We have no ramp. And so drawing one of these is like unironically game ending for us. We cannot put them in our hand under any circumstances. So I would be doing impulse, impulse, impulse as much as I can. So let me see what happens when we have a good time. We have no lands. Free mulligan. Uh, we have a very fucking little bean plan here, but we can make a lot of fodder and then we can turn all that fodder into something cute. So I do land, Bruce Banner. Oh, and we get polymorph too. Great. Um, land. Turn 2, I'll tap him to draw a card. Fuck it. And I'll get rid of probably Satyr's Cunning because I have Song of Totentans on my next turn. And then I'll do 1, 2, 3 Totentants. That doesn't really make sense. I should do that later. Oh, wait. Oh, I don't have red. Fuck me. Why in God's name did we do Mishra's Factory to get a 2/2 just to have a creature to polymorph? Okay. I don't love it, but I understand it. I'm gonna get a tapped mountain right now though. And then I probably like Desculpting Blast to get my 1/1 fodder. Opter. All right, next turn. Just polymorph, right? Let's see what we get. Oh, it's the boy. We get 1/6/5. Who cares about other non-token creatures entering? Perfect. I could not have scripted your tragic Grecian defeat better myself. Cut this man immediately. This does look like a really fun deck, though. Um, I'm trying to think. So we probably have to revisit like other bombs, and then I would be going. I realize you're doing the fodder for the mass polymorph. I would be cutting the things that only make like one or require a lot of investment to make multiple. Things like Song of Totentants, I'm with because it's basically I'm gonna invest 2 turns into having a lethal board. Okay, down, rocking with it. Rouse reinforcements, Hordling outburst. I'm less sold on. Mainly because we can just use Bruce. Bruce is right here for our normal polymorph effects. Um so other good bombs you could grab. I think you could just grab other coma. Ward 4, nobody's getting rid of that guy on the turn you polymorph him. Making 4/3/3s every time you hit, great. He's an 8/12 with trample. You're definitely fucking hitting. Let's do type, creature, commander. What is this? Temur? Mana value greater than or equal to. Let's do 6 and up. And let's just see what else would be fun here. We could do Galta, but it would be bad. We could do AC, but it would be boring. I always love Combustible Gear Hulk in this deck. You just won't get anything. I want to think about Playtest. It would definitely be bracket 3, right? You would have to give people. You would have to do like the sex offender registry, where you walk around the neighborhood and be like, "I'm so sorry, I play a Blightsteel deck." Funnily enough, even Dracuseth, I think, takes over the game better than like a summon Bahamut does. Because this gives you constant aerial terrorism. You are constantly blowing up. Like you get one swing with this guy, you're blowing up every mana dork somebody's played. 4 damage, 3 damage. It's enough to blow up a lot of the utility creatures. Um Something like Balefire Dragon will also be good, and you're going to notice a theme here with me bringing up Blightsteel, Dracuseth, and Balefire Dragon. And I know this because I've tried to play many like honest Stompy decks or honest Reanimator decks through my Henzi deck in bracket 2. If your threat profile is based around one creature, that one creature needs to kill somebody on the spot or set all of their belongings on fire. And if you don't do that, you are going to be at the mercy of the pod. That doesn't mean you will lose all the time, but it does mean that like other people have to really, really let you win. And so if you do want to do this low power, um, we would want to include more control elements like Balefire Dragon to be like, okay, all I got was a 6/6, but it's going to allow me to unset up your board. I'm going to go over to the token player. I'm going to go over to the +1/+1 counter player. I'm going to go over to the Spellslinger player who just played Goblin Electromancer and go, you don't have that anymore. So now I have the turns necessary to set up my stupid fuck-ass mass polymorph thing. Versus things like Summon Bahamut that only destroy, like you'll get 1 a turn, so you'll get 2 total, but he's not going to stick on board and he can't like just straight up fucking board wipe somebody. The issue I've been running into in so many of my bracket 3 games is there's always like 4 things worth shooting. It's crazy. It's crazy how pushed cards are. And I'm saying that as a relatively new commander player. I've only been playing for like half a decade. It's not very long compared to a lot of people. And so many creatures are so good. We gotta bag all these motherfuckers up, man. We can't let any of them live. Um, I would be inclined to risk it for Ancient Silver Dragon. I know what I said about drawing cards, but like, goddamn, if you get 20 of the bitches, or maybe the Ancient Bronze Dragon, since if you roll high on the treasures, you can cast all your stuff. Or like Apex Altasaur is a great one. I have this in my Reanimator deck. It's the perfect level of board control where you have a big threat and you can constantly keep all the problematic stuff off the board, and it's always up to one, so you can stop yourself from throwing the Apex Altasaur away. You can try to do something like Utvara Hellkite. This will be very similar to Coma, and it will give you the like, you have maybe 2 turns to deal with this before this is a game-ending problem. Don't really think we do Eldrazi. They're almost all cast triggers. I love Trumpeting Carnosaur. He's bad for this deck. I just shout out my boy. Ventmaw would be funny as a way to flip banner. If you were like, this is my only way to make green mana, I have to polymorph into it. Jin-Gitaxias, I think, would be too evil. I don't think it would be enjoyable for anybody involved. Agent of Treachery is really cute. It's also really, really not good enough. Not a huge believer in Sire of Seven Deaths. Uh, Potential, not really a believer in Quilled Great Worm. It's like Udvara Hellkite, but a little bit worse, right? Where you get about 2 turns before it's out of control, but it's out of control on one card. Emrakul would be really funny if you want to lean into the gimmicky nature of the deck. Be like, yeah, this could totally fuck me. By the way, I don't get to take any of your stuff, and if you can ever get rid of it, I'm screwed. But notably, it's protected from more than the other Emrakul is protected from, and so I believe in it more as just a straight up like beatdown unit. Beyond Adaphage, very, very beloved. It's like the only thing from the Henzi Precon that has survived every iteration of my Henzi deck, because every time I am able to make that first token copy, I think I have won the commander game. It might be I have to swing, the token copy has to connect too. It might be like by the time I get 3, I always win the game. But like every time I cast this motherfucker, whether I hard cast him, whether I blitz him, whether I reanimate him, he always takes over the game and he wins most of the time he gets to see the light of day. We're not doing dragons. So that's where I'd be. I would be dumping like Brainstorm we're good with, right? Because we can use it to set up a top deck. But Careful Study, Consider, Faithless Looting, Git Probe, Opt, Ponder. No, Ponder's good because we can order it. Preordain is somewhat acceptable. No on Serum Visions. No on... Oh no, Sleight of Hand's fine. And then, like, I wouldn't be doing Startle either. I think we're trying... Yeah, it seems like we're trying too hard to always be making fodder for a mass polymorph turn because we just don't have... We don't have strong enough contenders for, like, this takes over the game, which is why I'm so big on things that are doing all this removal or things that are making additional copies of themselves or things that are making us mana to cast more things. At the end of the day, if our plan gets stopped by a Swords to Plowshares, it doesn't matter how cool the thing we flip. And so the individual threats you want to be looking to flip could be the things that are not going to get stopped by a Swords to Plowshares unless they do it immediately. But this idea is cool as fuck. I think what would have happened in the competition is you would have made it past the first round for sure. We would have gone into the playtest. I would have at some point like get probed. It probably won't happen naturally in this one playtest, but like I would have like Serum Vision drawn a Tali, and I would have hit Divine Boom and you would have been disqualified. I think that's the big trip over its own dick energy the deck has, and I think that's pretty easy to fix. And then I think I might even steal this from you. Honestly, this is really cool. I like this. Like, the more I look at it, the more I like it. I think there's just a few slight tweaks to be made here. So really, really good job. Anybody in the comments, if you have big fuck off creatures you think would take over a bracket 2, low bracket 3 game, let me know. Otherwise, I wish you the very best, and I do hope this helps.